Time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers, and I begin with the Nigerian Tribune. The major story here says, abducted children. Parents lament IGP moves AIG to Ekiti. 13 suspects arrested. We need help. Our children, wives are battling with life in kidnappers' den. Parents of kidnapped pupils cry out. A really sad story there. And by the corner here, we have Benue community once again. 15 bodies recovered, several victims missing. And another story, gunmen abduct Federal Housing Authority director in Abuja. An alleged 109 billion naira fraud, Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, kicks as EFCC tenders video evidence. Crude oil sales takeover by CBN illegal, Atiku is saying. Nigerians are paying over 200 unofficial taxes, Oyedele is saying. Those are some of the stories you find on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. We'll move now to the front page of the Vanguard. After Ekiti, more children kidnapped in Benue. Armed herders kill 15 in Agatu. Bandits demand cough syrup, rice, 290 million naira to release 7 hostages. Abducted Ekiti pupils, school, parents, community launch crowdfunding for ransom. Police arrest 8 suspects, urge residents to stay calm. And there is a concern with this growing launch of crowdfunding to pay for ransom. And another story here is that court jails actress 6 months for spraying stepping on new Naira notes. Now, banks' borrowings from CBN rise 269% to 3.6 trillion naira on 1 month. Why government should remove electricity subsidy, Power Minister is saying. Some of the stories you find on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. We'll move to the Punch newspaper now. Abductions. 15 states enlist 50,000 vigilantes against kidnappers. Sakwato training 2,000 men. Delta recruited 2,400. Ogun 16,500, says governor's aides. Abductors threatening to kill Ekiti school children, reduce ransom to 15 million, parents have said. And to the by-election, Inspector General wants troublemakers restrict movement in 26 states. And protest rocks OAUTH over 2,000 sacked workers. Airfares to UK, US, others jump by 55%. Lagos Chinese firm seal rail bridge project deals. At the top corner, we have federal government bars states from collecting mining royalties. That's some of the stories you find on the front page of the Punch newspaper. And to the front page of the Daily Independent. Bandits demand 290 million naira food items to free 7 FCT hostages. And the riders, here says, threaten to kill 2 if ransom is not paid on time. Abduct FHA director near military camp in Abuja. Parents of abducted Al-Kalam University student urge their release. And another story here. Federal government unveils plans to procure more arms for national park operations. Only creation of state police will tackle insecurity, MBF says regional security outfits can't check insecurity. As the Middle Belt Forum speaking. And, well, those are some of the stories you find on the front page of the Daily Independent. And the Leadership newspaper now, again, student loan misses January deadline. Expansion hurdles, cause of delay, official reacting. Students, parents press for timely commencement. That's one of the stories you find here. Nigeria versus Angola. Basiero plays down favorite tag. All right, Ibrahim, you can take over now.
First news is the first alleged 10-year elongation. Federal government set to sack FRC Corps Marshal pencils down Senior Deputy Corps Marshal as replacement as Bill intensifies efforts to remain in office. Atiku slams federal government over transfer of NNPC revenue to CBN, says it's illegal. Insecurity, PDP governors back calls for creation of state police. 81% of working Nigerians not adding value to economy. Presidential team. Diaspora group accuses Anambra CP of diverting 20 billion naira cooperative investment. 21 suspects arrested over killing of Ekiti monarchs, abduction of pupils. Police declare ransom payment a crime. Aidatiwa swears in deputy. Camp cautions ex-commissioners on utterances. By-election. IGP restricts movement in Lagos, 25 other states on Saturday. Nigeria will have been worse without subsidy removal. That's according to the federal government. Tension in Akwa Ibom as hoodlums behead police officer. AFCON, senators, reps to chair Super Eagles in Cote d'Ivoire. Emeka Ofo plotting to kill me. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer speaks from hideout. Next is Blueprint. Matawale to Katsina elders. Others don't pitch north against other regions, says CBN. FAN offices relocation won't cost Tinubu 2027. Recalls Nigerians never protested over the university in Katsina. FCT abductors see 290 million naira ransom. Spaghetti for pregnant woman. 6 others release. 7 months not enough to fix Nigeria. Federal government tells citizens. CNG initiative to bring down cost of transportation by 50%. Marginalization. Sit up. Stop self-pity. Baribe charges Ndigbo. World Leprosy Day. Kano renovates leprosarium. Treats 333 patients. Below the masthead, we've got Bode George to Atiku. Perish thought on 2027 presidency. Angola goalkeeper out of Super Eagles AFCON clash. And above the masthead, APC to establish youth, women, physically challenged secretariats. That's according to Ganduje. And on the bottom strip, Nigeria, global cut in rates by central banks will ensure foreign investors return. Next is Daily Trust. Nigerians decry rising cost of living. Rice costs 70,000 naira. Flour, 44,000 naira per bag. Cement, 7,000 naira per bag. It's now difficult to survive in Nigeria. Tame inflation, tackle insecurity, LCCI. Gaza, NSCI asks ICJ to halt genocide against Palestinians. Ekiti abduction. Our children left without food, beaten by captors. Ahead Saturday's by-election. Plateau PDP protest emission on ballots. Naira gains sells for 1,400 to the dollar at parallel market. Niger junta expels EU recovery mission members. That's about it for Daily Trust. Next is Salient Times. 81% of employed Nigerians are in sectors that don't add value to economy. Taiwo Oyedele. Anambra CP kicks as diaspora group accuses him of diverting 20 billion naira cooperative investments. Actress Laide Bakare reveals how she will repay her husband if he cheats. Federal government grants employment waivers to hospitals. Man and his mistress executed for throwing his children out of window so they could start new life together. Crazy. Creation of African music category at Grammys, God's timing. That's according to Davido. Above the masthead, protest rocks Katsina over alleged blasphemy. Police call for calm. Monarchs killing. Police deploy helicopter. Armored carriers to Ekiti. Bandits demand cough syrup. Rise to 190 million naira to release 7 hostages. And things would have been worse if subsidy didn't go. That's according to the federal government. Next is this Nigeria. Dollar crisis. BDCs or Bureau de Change operators fight CBN over costs withdrawal services. BDC operators fight CBN over costs, withdraw services. The riders read, close offices in Abuja, Lagos, Kano. Bank customers decry increasing hardship, reduced purchasing power. Petrol price may rise soon, says Lopobiri. Bandits, okay, I took that earlier. Senate seeks robust partnership, collaboration with Germany on security, electricity. Ondo Chief Judge swears in Adelami as Deputy Governor. There will be no peace for criminals in FCT, Wike declares. Flags off rural road project in Gwagwalada. And on the ear of the newspaper, alleged 109 billion naira fraud. Ex-AGF Idris objects to EFCC's video evidence. You can see that on page 5 of this Nigerian newspaper. And then the last but not least paper with me is the Nigerian News Direct. Revenue remittance. Atiku condemns CBN's takeover of crude oil sales. Says action threatens operational efficiency of NNPC Limited. 109 billion naira fraud. Ex-AGF accuses EFCC of deceiving him to confess to allegations. On page, OAU THC workers stage peaceful protest over 14-month salary arrears. Naira declines by 37.6% in January 2024. Saturday elections. Police restrict movement in 26 states. And Lagos procures additional rolling stock for blue red lines from China. And last but not least, equity market rebounds by 1.63%. Investors gain 902 billion naira. That's about it for all the newspapers for review this morning. Veronica.
So many stories, if you look closely, matters bordering on security or insecurity all over the papers this morning. But one that really caught my eye was one you read about a man and his mistress who were executed for throwing his children out of the window so they could start a new life together. Where is this, the human in him? You know, you see some stories and you just wonder how people think, how people, I mean, your children, you threw them, you wanted to kill them, and you decided to kill them, in fact, because you wanted to start a new life. It doesn't make sense to me, really.
He decided to press the reset button, you know, in his life.
By killing his children.
The reset button. He wanted to start all over again. He just feels that he's going to stay in the world. He's going to live in the world for long. So he's going to make new children because he found a new love. It's just, you know, some things are so unthinkable. You know, just imagine what goes in the mind of people. And there is no way. You always have these whispers. Even when you have the whispers like, you can do this again, you can start all over again. What is there? Love? Like, I don't understand. The man will give him breakfast. His eyes will clear.
It's not about even the breakfast. It's about the fact that your children from your loins, you decided, okay, because of someone else who is coming into your life, maybe the person is saying, you know what, I cannot handle these children. If you want to really be with me, you need to prove to me that you love me enough.
And every other thing about you, every
other thing about you have to give way.
Just have to go.
Just have to go because this is you and I at this point. It's not adding up. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just unfortunate that they had to now.
Yeah, it's good they are executed because
they paid for their decision, and it goes a long way to show how impactful decisions we make on our lives. You take where there are laws, we see, you know, people come, you know, they ensure that these laws are enforced, and that is what they face. But you see, beyond the laws being enforced, the decisions we make at the end of the day, no matter how little, have a way of coming back to us. If not you, your children down the line, and he has borne the brunt. He bore the brunt of his decisions. Well, another story here is the matter of Taiwo Yedele saying about 81% of employed Nigerians are in sectors that don't add value to the economy. It's quite an interesting statement that he has made. 81%. in sectors that are not adding value, something is wrong.
Yeah. Yes, it's very profound, and I want to agree with him to a very reasonable extent. It doesn't mean that there are some people that they can add value, but they do not want to add value because of the fact that, sometimes some people get this job on a platter, on a good platter, and they just feel, I can always do it, and then let me just do what I want to do. One of the things that we can point at is the CBN saying that it wants to relocate one of its departments to Lagos, so that they can effectively monitor some of these banks. But, some others are crying that, no, this is not the right thing to do and all of that. But they are already revealing that because they have children working in those places. Because how can you be in CBN, in Abuja headquarters, where you are less, functional, where you're supposed to function, you are agitating, you are kicking against it, So, and that's just one sector. Another sector, we see it everywhere. So many quackery in different professions. But then I just want everyone to, sit up and do what is expected of them to do.
Some persons will tell you they need motivation to do their job, but let's leave that conversation.
I see what you did there.
Coming up at TVC Breakfast.